Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Aren't you glad he turned it? Oh, yes, 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 yes. Well, welcome to our platform, which is known as Project 365. We're so happy that you join us on today. I am Portia Wheatley. I am the founder and the president of a nonprofit organization and 501c3 acknowledged as Trophy of Life Incorporated. We have the great pleasure of rendering hope and encouragement to the whole wide world. Well, on Saturdays, we have dedicated that day to the voices of the next generation, the voice of the next generation. And on that note, I want to turn this platform over to our next generation coordinator in the person of Miss Erin Wilson Tucker, and she's going to carry out the remainder of this segment. Take it away, Erin.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. I hope that everyone is having a good day today. We are so excited to release our platform and share it to a young adult, Andrea Reuben. Some of you guys, she's a familiar face to you guys. She was a former infant teacher at the Goddard School in Towson, Maryland. She graduated from Coppin, Towson, and now she is in her graduate studies for being a speech pathologist at the Marshall University in West Virginia. And she's here to share and talk about overcoming the spirit of offense. Sorry, guys. So go ahead and take it away. Hi, how are you?
Hi, everybody. Hi, I'm so happy to be here. Definitely very nervous. I am very excited to share this topic. This is definitely a recent topic that I had to overcome myself. Erin can testify to that. But just to get right in and get it started, first of all, what is offense? And I didn't want to really look it up or define offense based off of the dictionary definition because I feel like offense is different to everybody. So for me, what does it mean for me to be offended? And I literally have 10 things down of what it means for me to be offended. And it's for me when somebody criticized my character, intentions, or physical being, like how I look, what did I meant when I said something to them, saying something rude to me. I may feel like I was belittled by them. They may put me down. They may not have cared about my feelings, or they may thought my feelings were just little. They didn't carry it with a lot of weight. Like I feel like sometimes if I'm expressing how I feel to that person, they should be like, yes, like I understand. Sometimes people don't get it. They don't understand. I get offended. Betrayal. I may have put my trust in somebody and they did something to betray my trust. And I'm like, how could you ever do that? I'm not recognized in a person's mind. Somebody may not consider me for something, or how I should be recognized. I may do a lot of work for something and I think like I'm the boss, like I'm doing this, and somebody may overlook me. I'm offended by that. Or not being chosen. And sometimes if I'm not chosen for something and I think I should have been chosen for it, sometimes I don't necessarily talk about it. And that's what I consider a silent offense. Like I harbor that in. And now I'm offended and that person has done something to me and I'm acting a certain type of way towards that person, but that person may not even know of how I'm feeling towards them. And they may have been like doing something just because, or made a decision just because, may not have anything to do with me. So what's the issue with that, of me holding on to that offense when people do these various things that I've listed? It hurts me. As I said, it's a choice that I take it on. I can use so many examples, but because my circle is so close knit and we know everybody, I don't want to put nobody on blast. But me having unfulfilled expectations, where I talked about where it's unspoken or unmet or unrealistic, I have to use my boyfriend as an example. He has a different rationale of how he thinks about certain things. And I think this way. And I feel as though like, man, like you're my boyfriend, you should know to do this. Some people may relate of where they may be in a marriage or like, you're my wife or you're my husband, you should know to do this. Like, we've been married for this long, or we've been in this friendship for this long. But we have to understand that the way people think is different from ours. The way people rationale, they reason is different from ours. And it sounds so like, oh yeah, like, yeah, I know that. That's so, yeah. But think about why a lot of people in church have church hurt. Think about why we don't want to go to certain places. We don't want to participate with a certain group of people. It's because people may have responded to us a certain type of way. People may have said something, or people may do something or carry themselves a certain type of way. And we take that on. We're offended because how dare you do that, or how dare you say that? Some more issues with that. You could be a very irritable person. Some people can't stand, oh gosh, like, here she go again, about to do this, or here they go again. And they're just so irritated and moved by everything that people do. And I feel like around certain people, I probably have done that before. But I know that's definitely a thing that all of us have encountered. But how do we overcome that? As I've stated before, it's a choice to stay offended. It's a choice for me to feel as though that my teacher tried to put me on blast in the classroom, or it's a choice for me to feel like the preacher in the pulpit had put my story or my personal business on blast on the pulpit. Even though they may have done it intentionally, or they may not have done it intentionally, it's still my choice. When you think about being offended, you also can correlate that with forgiveness. God told us that we must forgive quickly, and it's not for the other person, it's for us to heal. So when we hold on to that offense, we're just tearing ourselves down. We're breaking our own hearts. We're not healing. It's things that I've dealt with in my childhood, that people have done things towards me that were in an adult, and I felt like they should have known better. Like, how are you an adult and you do these things? But then again, we have to realize that, people are people, they're human. The same way how I fall short to this day, other people fall short. Some people may not know how to be a great friend, a great husband, a wife, a great mother, a great father. And they're not doing it because of you. They're not making these bad decisions because of you. You're taking it personal. We have to understand that people have a process that they have to go through. People have to grow just like how we have to grow. So when people do stuff to us, then we go into the mindset of, oh no, that's my boundary. I'm not going to allow people to disturb my peace. No, I don't talk to that person. I can't be around them. Or no, I can't go to that place. We're being defensive now. And the thing about it is that God told us to show grace. In his word, he talks about always loving, always protecting, always trusting. Love always hopes and always perseveres. Are we really doing that when we're holding up those boundaries towards those certain people? Now, it's not necessarily that we allow people to constantly do stuff to us. No. But we have to understand that when people are talking about us behind our back, when people are saying something that didn't necessarily come out right, or they do something, or we might be driving and they flick us off. We might be called the N-word. We might be called the B-word. When that happens, we have to take ourselves out of that equation and understand that maybe it's something that's happening within them. So now we take the stance, because what God is trying to grow us up to be for other people, I'm going to take this stance and I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to remove myself and remove my feelings out the situation. And I'm going to be that person that's going to go to prayer, go to the throne on your behalf. So, whatever it is that you're dealing with on the inside, you can overcome that. And with that speaks in the scripture of Romans 12:10, where it says to be devoted to one another in love and honor one another above yourself. I can tell you right now, probably in the past 4 weeks, I have not honored anybody above myself, because I am important. It's me. Like, I need to make sure I'm good. I'm good here and I'm good here, because nobody else got me like how I got me and how God got me. But that's not really what God is trying to get us to a place of. It's not about us. If you look at everything, the two greatest commandments, everything is always about God and other people before us. Everything is always about community. Everything is always about loving one another, praying for somebody, forgiving. It's a trend. So I feel like when we talk about offenses, we never really talk about that. We always talk about forgiveness, or we always talk about disappointments or everything like that, but we never talk about when people do certain things or say certain things. Now we're offended, and now we're choosing how we interact with that person. And I know everybody has people in their lives, or people that are involved in their lives some type of way, whether it's your job, whether it's at church, whether it's at the grocery store. It's a certain clerk that you don't want to go to the cash register because she was going to be there, or he was going to be there. It's something. And we have to be mindful of those things, because as that builds up, you keep building that up, that's going to affect how we communicate. That's going to affect our ministry. That's going to affect how we spread our light to others, because maybe that person that gets on your nerves at that grocery store, they may need to hear the gospel, or maybe take it more personal, whereas like it could be somebody in your family, because who can offend you the most when it's your family, because they know every little personal thing about you. And they may say something or do something, but now you're like, why are you always saying something? Why are you always making this critical critique about me? I don't want to be around you. I don't want to talk to you. Like, I'm not feeling you. Like every time I come around you, it's always something negative. There's always something this and that, or you're always doing something, or you always bragging about something, or you think I'm jealous, or we're harboring all those feelings. We're harboring offense. And now we put those boundaries up and we don't want to deal. And how does this affect our relationships? When we choose to hold on to these offenses, we decide to create boundaries, and then we cut people off, or we set people at a distance. And we have to understand that people are human and they will fail us over and over again. We have to seek forgiveness, and we have to have that heart posture of when we think it might be an offense, whether we know their intentions or not, we know that how we're taking it. Like you, if somebody were to say something to me about my hair, because I didn't retwist my locks yet, and they might say, oh my gosh, look at her roots. Like, or somebody may come to me and say like, Drea, why didn't you retwist your hair before you got on that live video? And then I could take that as like, I had all this stuff I had to do before I got on the live video, and I just didn't have time, and I thought my hair was cute. And why she always got to judge me and say something about me? Or why, like, this is like, you know what? I'm not dealing with it. I'm not doing no more live videos. I'm not talking to nobody. I'm not doing this. It will go there. Maybe I'm a little bit more dramatic, but think about the little things that people say, that people do, that get you like, see, that's what I'm talking about. And that's why I don't do that. I'm not doing it no more. Now you're cutting things off. And we don't only just see that with people, we also get offended by God. We have these desires in our heart that we want to do something, we want to partake in something. And it doesn't happen for us. And we're like, dang, God, like, I prayed for this. You knew this is what I wanted. So I went all this way, and for you to be like, no, I wanted to have this child. And you gave that child to them, and she already got about 5, and she don't even want that one. But I'm sitting here and I'm crying to you every night. I'm fasting. I'm doing what I got to do. Me and my husband, we're here. And you're not going to give me what I asked you for? I'm being faithful to you. And then with those little offenses that keeps happening, that keeps coming, blocking our heart, we're like, keep pushing it away, pushing him away. Until one day we're just like, I don't want to be involved no more. I remember a young lady, she messaged me on Messenger, and she has said to me, yeah, I understand the whole God thing, but I prayed about a child, and I just don't want to be Christian no more because he didn't give me a child. Like, that's a real thing, and that's where I got that example from. This is real. And I just want all of us to understand that we can't get to a place where we are not just blocking out people, we are blocking out God. And how can we ever live up or be in the will of God if we are running away what was purpose for us? We have to have that heart posture of forgiveness. We have to understand that it's a bigger picture than just me. We have to understand God is doing this for a purpose. And when we feel that offense, we have to choose to let it go. That's it. That's what I learned so far. And I'm still learning. I feel like I'm offended, but I quickly say, God, check me, help me. And yeah, that was it. That's all I got.
Awesome. Basically, check your heart, Pat. Just like check your heart. Make sure that your heart posture is aligned, with God, and like let it go. Not everything needs to be harbored on. If you know that's not true about yourself, don't even harbor on it. Just go ahead and let it go, God, and change your heart. That's awesome. That's awesome. Really. Now, how did you start changing your heart? What are those ways that you took to change your heart posture?
I had to dig deep. I had to go to what was the roots of why I always feel this certain type of way every time somebody said something. And when I had to dig deep, of course, it was something that happened all the way in the past in my childhood. And then I'm like, well, okay, so why is it that I'm holding on to that? I'm holding on to it because I didn't forgive that person. So what I had to do was I had to then forgive all the way back from the beginning. Because when I sit and I think about all of my feelings that I was having and why I was at this rage and why I was so upset, everything was about what somebody else did to me, what somebody else said. That all started from me not forgiving. That all started from me choosing to hold on to it and not letting it go.
Awesome. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is real. Forgiveness is for yourself, really not like for the other person. So I think we should all take that heart posture of, let's just forgive, our past hurt so that we can move on and be who God has called us to be, or just be great human beings, period, so that we won't walk around with being hurt, feeling mad at the world. Let's just go ahead and forgive. Awesome. Thank you so much for rendering this wonderful light of sharing how you overcome your offenses. And of course, it's a learn. I think all of us, we're still learning, even though we are shedding our light, giving our testimonies and everything. We're still learning to walk through the valleys. Like Pastor Portia, you have anything to say?
I am good. I'm just thankful that Miss Reuben accepted your invitation to come and share, because the next generation really have a word in their mouth, some type of word to give hope, encouragement, and inspiration. Thank you.
Yes, so God, thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in to Project 365. We are here every day. So please join us tomorrow. We will have a special guest. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and also subscribe to our YouTube page. And we will see you guys right here again tomorrow at 1:00. Thank you. Have a nice day, everyone.